Okay. Are we on? You can hear me, Evie?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a German riding pony, 18 years old, I think, working towards pre-St. George stuff. And she explained to me a lot of the struggles mostly happen for them in the canter, talking a lot about straightness in the changes, and also talking a little bit about the canter zigzag that happens in the pre-St. George being a bit of a struggle. Fine, and then let him go forward. Sorry, he's just really pretty. Good. And how warmed up is he?
He's warm up.
Oh, okay.
He's easy. I warmed up after here.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, controlling the tempo there. That just because we decide to push the horse sideways, the quality of the trot must stay the same. And I'm going to get after you too. We had some different level horses, these two middle horses, but the first one was an FEI horse. This one's also working towards FEI, which means I'm going to drill you about using your corners, especially because you have this tiny little horse and I ride these giant ones, and if I can do it, then you can do it. So every arena gives you 4 opportunities to have a corner. And in the pre-St. George, when we start looking towards your changes or your zigzags, whether or not you ride an effective corner is really going to determine how well prepared you feel for things that happen out of the corner. And things don't get easier if we don't practice them. Good. Good, and a good corner will feel like you come out of it with a little shoulder 4. Yeah. Good, and then relax on him. And again, we ride him in. Yeah, and watch that your hand, if your hand wants to cross over the neck, it is generally because your snaffle rein is too long. And then if it still wants to do it when it's short, it means your right leg is being lazy. Yep, send him on with your right foot. Good. Yeah, touch him again until he doesn't fuss when you do. Good, right leg on, straight through the left rein. Yeah, no right bending. Shoulder 4 does not have bend. Straighten the neck. Good. Good. Let's look at those corners and your straightness and trot to the left. And then we'll get to canter before we run his legs off and trot. Good. Good. Super. Yeah, and when he goes to drop the bit like that, I want you to think that it becomes your job to hold that snaffle steady in his mouth. Good, and we'll change direction. Good, then easy. Yeah, he's not a young chicken. Good, and then we feel your corners this way, right? Probably a stiffer side. This way you might need to touch that left rein through the corner. Good boy. Super. And see if you can feed a little bit out on the curb rein. Good. And if he gets fussy, you take him really steady on those snaffles. Yep, straighter on your right rein. Good boy. Super. Let's look at the canter. However you want to get there. Now, how on your aid was that transition? Was that transition trot canter perfect for you?
No.
No. So how come it's been a half of an arena and we're, yeah, exactly. Being picky on these things, like I said, I think was maybe the first rider. You already know, because you've expressed to me what you would like to work on. So even though we're just doing a trot canter, if we know we're going to be focusing on maybe some flying changes later, this matters. Good, straighter on your right rein. Good, speed up that hind leg. And you feel the first thing he did was he tugged the reins about 3 inches, 4 inches, maybe 6 inches out of your hands? Yeah? So shorten them back up. Close your fingers and keep your elbows by your hips. Good. Your elbows are part of your seat. Good. Take him a little bit counter flexion. Good. Good. And still, I think your snaffles are a little bit long for this size of horse. Good. Yes, and then make him supple through the outside rein. Uh-huh. Oh, we found it already. That didn't take long. Yeah, take him again, supple through the outside rein. Doesn't matter if it's happening in trot, in walk, or in canter. Good. Walk him, take him supple through the right rein. Yes, good. That's all, buddy. And then we get back to canter. But this perimeter that you're giving him, right, it's going to allow you to control the straightness and the changes and the zigzag and all these things. On a horse who is not hesitant to take the contact, like you can see very clearly, even if she takes a curb rein, right, he's happy to have that in his mouth. But what that long rein allows is for a little bit our timing and our ability to feel crookedness. It becomes very limited on the long rein. And if we can't do a basic canter on this short rein, we know that when we get to more complicated things like changes and half passes, that extra length in the reins allows him to slip out of our perimeter in all kinds of sideways ways. Good, walk again. Yeah, keep those snaffles, keep your elbows. Yeah, supple him on the right. Good, good. I know, it's much harder, huh? But this is the difference between him being up like a pre-St. George level horse and down and running like a second level horse doing some flying changes. He's not wrong. It absolutely is more difficult. Fine. And then, yeah, you either make your correction or your legs come off. And already you feel him being successful in pulling those reins right away from you? Yep. This is, I would imagine, when you start working towards the changes or the zigzag and things, I would imagine things can get a little out of control. Not because he's bad, but maybe that you can't control whether his shoulder or his haunches are leading, or you can't control if he's swinging his butt left and right, or maybe the changes aren't totally on your aid.
Yeah, the straightness, definitely have to fight the straightness, and when actually about the second lead change, he wants to take over.
For sure, and when they have this extra space in the bridle, and that's right now, so even though we haven't touched the changes, this is the issue, right? Because you can't really keep him in between your leg and your hand in the middle of those changes. And when he gets a little bit escaping on that long rein, you're just a passenger. Good, when you're ready, let's do a walk canter again, but making sure he's not successful in pulling those snaffles away from you. This is how he has to learn to canter. Good, right elbow. Yeah. See, now we've made his life impossible. Good, no problem. Take him a little supple on your outside rein. Outside, outside. Outside, outside. Good. And then you feel him push through your left leg. So basically keeping the neck straight tells us the work that we still have to do in our legs. Yeah, already he's pulled the reins away from you. Yeah? And you watch your reins. They have those stoppers on them. And take him straighter through the right rein. Ah, sneaky guy. Good, already. Yeah, he's just a little bit long on the snaffle. Don't bother. Yeah, don't matter any mistakes he makes. Take him straighter on the right rein. Almost counterflex. Counterflex him a little. Doesn't matter until he gets soft there. Doesn't matter. Wait him out. Doesn't matter if it's in trot. Counterflex. Until he gets soft on your right rein. Good. And then you just get him go straight and back to canter. So all these things, you being able to touch him and not create a problem, are going to make him reliable or not reliable when we make things trickier with the changes and the half passing. Let's change direction and you stay left lead. Good, and you're going to work him a little bit through your right leg and your right rein. Almost like you're going to leg yield away from your inside leg. Push him to the rail, bring the nose a little towards the inside. He's pulling your snaffles. Good, bring the nose to the middle. Yeah, bend him towards me. Good, and then you pick up your left lead. Yeah. You can do it from walk if you want. Doesn't matter. Good boy. And then you push him off your right leg and flex him a little to the inside. Good. Right leg back. Yeah, put your right leg back. Push him off that right leg, right rein. What's that? Yeah, he did a lead change, but you still have yet to put your right leg even on. Right? So the first thing I'm more concerned about than the lead change is that he yields from your right rein and your right leg. Good. Now walk. And now we pick back up the left lead. Good. And push him again off your right foot and bring the nose a little to the inside. Push him. Push him, push him, push him. Make him leg yield off your right leg. Right leg back. Yeah, push him to the rail. Bend him to the right. Don't keep him bent to the left just because it prevents the change. Bend him right. Bend him right, bend him right. Yeah, more. More, more, more. Until he gets soft there. Doesn't matter. Walk. Yeah, flex him to the inside. Good. And then pick up the left lead. So he totally takes away from you your ability to actually ride the canter. And this is why the changes get all out of sorts. Because sometimes in order to keep him straight, you're going to have to touch him in the bridle. It doesn't mean flying change, right? But he's convincing you that it does. So basically on a horse like this is what I call like rearranging the buttons. Okay, because right now he's got some buttons in a place where we don't want them. Good, it's fine. Pet him for that effort and I would walk. But again, I don't want you to feel up there like, okay, if I flex him to the right, he's going to do a flying lead change. So I just have to keep him bent left and then he won't do it, right? You become a hostage. It's like this situation where he tells you all the things that you're not allowed to do, or else I'm going to do a flying change, right? And it's just not effective riding. You get on that diagonal and you may as well drop your reins, cover your eyes and pray, right? That's pretty much the options that he leaves you with if we don't work through this stuff. You let him walk a lap, and then we'll pick him up, and we'll see if it's the same or different on the right lead when we work on the left side. And all this starts to do for me is make everything possible. So in my canter, regardless of which lead I'm on, I want to know that I could push him off of my left leg, or that I could make him straighter in the shoulders with my reins, and that if I'm doing, say, a 4-tempi, and in between my changes, I realize he landed, and I need to move the shoulders back to the right before my next change. If every time I go to make my horse straight, he flips a change on me, I have no ability to improve my straightness in the changes. I have a choice. I can either make my horse straight, and the count is whatever it is, whatever he decides to do, or I can let him be as crooked as he wants and pray that I get the count. And so our goal then becomes that we're able to do both of those things. But unless we practice it and kind of, like I said, rearrange these buttons, then you never have any ability to really control what happens on those diagonal lines. Good, let's start actually tracking to the right. You pick up your right lead canter, and then we'll change direction and look at it in counter canter. But first we make his job a little easy. Walk. Good, and every time you feel your hands either wanting to come back against you or lift or go to the side, ask yourself if it's because your snaffle is too long. Good. Just get the canter rolling, get it feeling nice, and then we take it to counter canter, okay? Good boy. Good, and you slowly just start working him through the left leg and the left rein. Staying a little bit inside track, so you always have space to push him off of the left leg. Good, move him to the rail, flex him a little. Good, until he gets a little soft on your left rein. Yes, good boy. Good job. This way is much easier for him. You feel? Good, push him again to the rail. Flex him until he's soft on your left rein. Keep, right? Flex him until he's soft on the left leg, left rein. Right? Commit to what you're asking him to do. Don't get distracted by the mistake. Whether he changes, whether he trots, you follow through with whatever it was that caused the mistake until you get the reaction you like. Walk. And then we get back to the lead that we wish we were on. Good. Keep your left leg back. Good, then push him over there, supple him up on the left. Good, then pet him on the inside. Good boy. One more time. It becomes more important about how we ride the mistake than anything. Again, left leg back. Left leg back. Good boy, pet him again. And let's trot. That's okay, left leg on. And change direction. Good, and you're going to pick up the left lead. This is the side that needs more work. But until this is 100%, I can guarantee you that when you start your tempis, you're going to have this problem all over again. But you're going to be on, you're going to even add a level of difficulty to it because now you're going to be trying to count. Right? Right leg back. Move your right leg back. Yes. Good. Keep it back there and supple up the right rein. Doesn't matter. Supple up the right rein. Good. And then walk and pick up the left lead. Walk. Good. Make him a little sharp on your right foot. Good. And then canter left. Yeah, but don't bend him left, even in the transition. Good. Either straight. Yeah. Good. And then work him a little to the inside. Right leg on. Keep it, right? You have to support him with your inside leg, okay? And this is a little bit sometimes the trouble of not riding with stirrups, is that you end up balancing on this part of your leg, and your lower leg is always far away from him. So let's pick up the left lead, and I want you to keep your right leg close to his side. Yeah, keep it there, like it is when you're asking him to canter left. When you ask him to leg yield off of it, keep it there. Good, keep it back, and just feel his side. Help him be successful. Right leg back. Good, flex him a little to the inside. Good, pet him. Good boy. That's fine. Let him walk a second and think on that. But you have to a little bit understand that when we make a new exercise for the horse, we have to try to help them be successful. I don't get the impression that this is an unambitious horse, you know, and so when he's making all of these little mistakes, he's not doing it actually to try to get out of work, right? He's doing it because he thinks he knows the changes, and he thinks that's about what you're about to be after him about, is changing back and forth and yada yada and all this other nonsense. And rather, we a little bit almost have to slow him down. And it was the opposite, you guys, as the horse that was just before this one, who I kept saying, take your legs off. This is a little bit of horse who, when you touch him, he's quick. He's a quick fire horse, you know, and so you have to have your leg close enough to his side, your hand close enough to his mouth, that when you touch him, you don't get a big surprise. And so I think it's really important for you to remember that even though you don't have stirrups, you sometimes have to think that your lower leg is going to stay as close to him as your upper leg. And it's not necessarily for driving him faster. It's not necessarily because he's, you know, behind you or being disobedient, but it's a little bit because he's almost a little too sharp. Good. When you're ready, we pick up the collected walk, and we pick up a collected canter on either lead. I don't care which way you want to start. And we're going to start, I think, with you just showing me potentially a flying change on purpose on the rail. Use your leg first. Good. I only use the whip in two instances. One, if I'm trying to help the horse with rhythm, and I would use it in the way that you just did. Or two, I use it because I can't kick hard enough and I'm not getting the reaction I want. Fine, don't be worried. Good. 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 On your next long side, you're going to think a little bit about that feeling that you have moving him away from your left leg and your left rein. You don't have to leave the rail more than even an inch, but feeling that you could have him a little bit soft on your left side, and you could purposely make a flying change to the left. Walk, and pick up your right lead. Right, remember that on a horse like this, he's a little bit jumping away from the hind leg. When you go to put your right leg back, you also need to close your right hand, okay? Canter stays the same, not faster. Move him a little bit away from the left leg. Walk again. Pick up the right lead. That your right hand and your right leg have to come on at the same time when you ask him for the left lead canter. Right, and still, for me, it's muddled. Walk again. And pick up your right lead. Right, this time when you put your right leg back and you hold on that right fist, you're going to give him a little tick with your spur when you ask him this time. And you're going to hold that right rein. Yeah, fine, but you've got to ride after also. Walk, pick up your right lead. Stay on your butt. Good. Think with your right elbow and come. Right, and I would even give him a bigger aid with your right foot because he's not jumping through behind. Walk. Let's change direction and pick up your right lead as counter canter. Good, push him up there on the rail. Make him soft on the left side. Wait, as long as he feels like he's going to try to do it on his own, he's not allowed to. Okay? When you feel he lets you put your legs on and stays smooth and rolling, yeah, take him to the rail. Hold. Fine, 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 fine. Good. Relax on him. Check the length of your, not running. Yeah, he's got to find the balance in between. Because as long as he's running the change, it's not also going to help you promote the straightness in your changes. Same tempo. Yep, let's do it again. Walk. When you put that left leg back, he better jump to right lead canter, right? That's your flying change right there. This walk canter, this is your flying change. Poke him, poke him. Good, now walk. Oh yeah, easy, buddy. Good, left leg, yeah, walk. Left leg gentle back. He should fly to right lead canter. Come. Come. Walk. Good, 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 good. Good, and then stay a little closer to your rail. And when you get that feeling, you can ride him through a soft left side, and he's not thinking about the change on his own, not running, not running, not running. Keep your left leg back. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, help him put your left leg back. Not running. On the rail, on the rail, on the rail. Check the length of your curbs. Good. Was that on your aid?
The half halt, but he didn't get a leg aid. He got a half halt while protecting the curve.
Okay, so then the answer is no. Yeah. So we pick it up again, but stay on your rail. Right? The rail helps you because in that moment, you only have to worry about one side. Right? Because right now, even if you were an octopus, you wouldn't have enough legs and hands to ride this horse. Because he's a little squirrely on you. Good. Keep him on the rail. Good. Left leg back. Don't let him run. Left leg back. Good. 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 Next long side, if he feels relaxed like this, then you can slide your left leg forward, hold the right rein, right leg. Your snaffles are getting long, not running. Wait, 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 right? So if it doesn't happen the first time, ask yourself, is my canter still quality enough to ask again? The answer here was no, right? Something else happened, And rather than getting desperate for the change, we have to say now he's not in a position in his canter where it's going to be a pretty change on my aid, right? And I don't care about any other kind of flying change other than the one that we ride for a 10. Go ahead and you pick up that counter canter. Right, he's late to that. Do you feel? Good. Yeah, but light him up on your left leg. It's not the whip. Your whip is just going to piss him off. Yeah, poke him with your left spur. Come. Walk now. Good. Left leg back. Come. Come. Come, come, come. Left leg. Good. Walk now. Good. Easy, buddy. Good. Left leg. I know. Yeah. Good, but it's the timing that when you, good boy, when your left leg goes back, gentle, he has to fly into canter. That's your flying change aid. And if he's not sharp on that, it's all right, sweetheart. Good. Yeah. Good. Left leg back quiet. Come, poke him with your left spur. Come. Because even though he's trying all these other things, doesn't mean, walk again, doesn't mean that when he's dull or late or whatever to your canter aid that he gets to get away with it just because he's ambitious. Walk again, because I'm not sold. And on horses like this, you have to be careful because they get hot and upset, but you still have to back it up. Otherwise, and horses like this will convince us because he wants to go. Well, he's going to. If I just keep my leg back here for another second, he's going to pick up the right lead. That doesn't work for me once we start counting tempies off, because you're going to be in a situation where if he's not totally on time 100% of the time, then you never have control over your count, right? So when that left leg comes back gentle, as much as he's ambitious, wants to be a good boy, he's not on time. That's just the fact of the matter. Yeah, straighten him in front. No bending. Fine. Good, and you work him up on the rail until you feel he's soft and gentle on the left side. Left leg stays back. Good boy. Super. If you start the next long side with that feeling, then you can make your flying change. But again, don't be so committed to the change that you lose your commitment to the canter. Forward and change. Fine. But how long did it take you when your right leg came back for him to do it? Yeah, not long?
Too long.
Too long, yeah. So let's walk and let's pick up the left lead, right? And really, really be strict on yourself. Just because he wants to go, when my right leg slides a little, does he fire up on that left lead right away? We're just going to do a couple walk canters. And I would have given him a couple pokes on my right foot by now. Say, hey, you know better. That's left lead, young man. Good.
Do you want right lead or left lead?
We're going to play with both because right now we got him a little sharp off of your left foot. But then when you asked him for the change from right to left, he was dull off of your right foot, right? So walk again. And you pick a leg. I don't care which one right now. I just want you to make sure that he's really fired up on both of them. And fired up enough for you that if that were your flying change, would it be on time? It's either a yes or a no, right? And that's up to you. Good boy. Good boy. And then straight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when he does that, I'd give him a poke, poke on my right foot. Walk, poke, poke, right foot. Yeah, fine, and then very quiet. Ask for your perfect one. Good boy. Good, let's pick up the right lead. Good boy. Good, and when you ask him for the left lead, give him a little poke. Right, because even though he's ambitious, he can't be totally trusted just yet to be on time. Good. Come. Yeah, come. Poke him, poke him, poke him. Good. Now walk. Quiet. Pick up your right lead. There has to be enough of a difference for him between this is my aid and holy cow, man, you missed it, that it makes a little sense to him. Okay? Good. 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 Fine, buddy. It's all right. Wait. Wait. Good. Next long side, you try again. Good. Play him a little forward and back. It's all right, buddy. Good. Fine. It's all right. Very good. Let him walk. I think he has enough gas in the tank. We'll do the same thing the other way. Okay, but really holding yourself accountable for saying these walk canters are important. This amount of time, even though, well, I know he's going to, because he's ambitious, he likes to go. He's going to canter. Sure he is. But is it enough that it's going to be effective in your flying changes? Right? And this is where the boundaries have to start changing. And it's difficult with a sensitive horse who wants to go to sometimes back up our aids because we can make them a little crazy. They sometimes start to feel guilty about things. But the fact of the matter is that it has to be done. Otherwise, it gets done in a different way than you would on a dull horse. But it has to be done. Otherwise, he stays only as good as he is. He doesn't get more refined. You might be able to block off a couple changes on your long side, maybe even get lucky and get some fours. But if you don't pay attention to this, you're no closer to a clean set of threes, a clean set of twos, a clean set of ones. And even though maybe you're not thinking right now about riding a Grand Prix, everything I do, whether it's on a 4-year-old or an actual Grand Prix horse, I say, how does this relate to the Grand Prix? There are no fours in the Grand Prix. So how is what I'm doing in the Prix St. George relevant to what happens at the highest level of this sport? It becomes about timing. Timing, quality, accuracy. And not settling for less than that. So even if what's possible right now is a line of fours, I want to make those so easy that I say, yeah, I think in 1 year, these could become 1 tempi changes. So now we pick up the left lead, right? And again, being super picky on him and your walk canters. Not yet, not picky enough for me. Poke, poke with your leg. Yeah, good, good, good. Easy now, sweetie. Quiet, leg back. Poke him, poke him. Right, he's not sharp enough on it. You feel? Yeah. Good. And quiet. Slide it back. Poke him until he canters. Come. Good, easy now, buddy. Whoa, pet him. Walk all quiet like nothing ever happened. Good, relax him. Good. And then slide your right leg back. Too slow. Come, 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 come. Good, 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 good. Easy now. But even this hopping deal, these are not things that don't rear their ugly head in the middle of your changes. You can see how effective you can be by schooling these walk canters. This is going to get done your whole job for you in the tempies. Walk, right leg back. Good boy. Walk until that is sharp, but not outrageous, right? Good. Right leg back. Good. Good boy. And then let's walk and let's check your left leg, right lead. And now I can't see it, okay? So we can either do two things. You can either be honest with me, or I can make you do it all up and down that long side so everyone else can tattle on you. Right? But really, you know, don't be so sweet on him that you make what you're trying to teach him to do impossible to learn, right? You're not doing him any favors by covering it up for him. Good. Left leg quiet. Yeah, and I would give him, because he's picking up the wrong lead, a little poke on my left spur. Say, hey, you're a little frazzled, but you're not really listening. Good, because he knows this stuff. Good, quiet. Left leg back and canter. Good boy. Do that just a couple times until you can really trust it. And anything else he does, I don't care. If he starts trotting, again, left leg, come on. Until he picks up that right lead. Good boy. Good, and walk. Good, yeah. But also this sharpness, right? We talk about your reins being long and it being like a window for him to be crooked or a window for him to make a mistake. The lingering on the leg is also a window, right? If he is late to your leg, there's time for him to fuss around and get crooked. You notice when he's sharp that he just takes off and canter and there's no fussing, right? That only happens from practice. Walk. Left leg back. Good boy. Good, and then we walk and you pick up the left lead. Be real picky on yourself. Yeah, keep it on. Walk again. But you will have no wasted time here, because you can even feel how your walk canter left is a little bit how he wants to do that flying change. It's all right, pick up your left lead. Yeah, good for you. Walk. I know, buddy, you're almost done. He does, but it's his mind that becomes to a point where then he's, yeah. But even if he trots, I don't want you to necessarily think about stopping the trot, but saying, what didn't he do? If you said canter, you have to take it as far as you need to, and yeah, good boy, until he canters. Then you can stay left lead if you want. Keep your right leg a little back for him. Help him be successful. Yeah, work him through your right foot. Good. Yep, keep your right leg back. Your right leg is always at the girth. Help him a little. Good. Sit back, right leg back. Put it really far back. Good boy. And we'll just wait. If we don't get to it today, it doesn't matter. He has to relax on that, yeah, right leg. Good boy. Good. When you feel that he's patient, yeah, don't override it. Good. Good. I love that. Excellent. But do you feel how straight he is? Good. When he's up on the rail and you get that feeling, close your left hand and give him a pop with your left foot. Forward. Make him straight again on your right leg. right? You feel, yeah. Right leg back, right leg back, right leg back. Good, ride him forward from your right foot. Even here, come, right leg back. Yeah, he needs to pick up the left lead canter when your right leg goes back. Good boy, keep it on, right leg on. Good, good, relax now. Good, keep it back, right leg back. Good, and then quick, left, left, flying change, right leg forward. Fine, buddy. All right, ride your left lead again, right leg back. Right, you have to be quick to change your mind. Right, if he starts hopping around like that, you have to then be quick to say, okay, well, no, I'm going to ride the left lead now. Yeah, poke him with your right foot. Yeah, good. And then quiet, ask him for left lead canter. Because even though it's not for lack of effort, he is disobedient. That's just the fact, right? He's not a bad boy. He just distracts you with all kinds of other things. Good. Good, right leg back. You're not even touching him with your right leg. Touch him now. Good, keep that right leg on his side. Good. Right leg on his side. Good. And then slide it forward and give him a pop with your left foot. Super, it's fine. Now ride the left lead. Right? He just changed behind but not in front. It's fine, but you feel how much more control you had? Good. Retry one more time. Right leg back. And then in the moment of the change, slide it forward. Fine, buddy. Right? He's just struggling to get to the, yeah. Pick up your left lead. But you need to keep him on the rail with your right foot, and that's what I mean. Your right leg doesn't hardly help him at all. Yeah, poke him with your right foot. Sit back. Good. Good. Now quiet. Good boy. Good. Right leg supports him. Good. Right leg back. Good. Keep him on the rail with that right leg. Ride him straight to the end. Push him up with the right leg. Put him on the rail. Push him on the rail. Put him up on the rail. He's still off the rail. Right leg, right rein. Yeah, put your right leg on him. I can always see air between your foot and his body. Good. Then walk and pick up your left lead. Good. Push him up there. I want to hear your boot on that kickboard. Good. Good. Good job. I would let him trot. We'll poke on this again tomorrow. Good. But you see how really working him through your legs, how the fussing in the bridle gets so much better, and how the straightness just starts to get so much better on its own. You have to really commit, and it's a little bit tough without stirrups because your leg wants to be a little bit away from his sides. And because he's a little bit goey, you haven't had to use your legs to drive him.
Right.
But now that we're working on this kind of stuff, you need your legs for other things. They communicate other things too. And if when you put them on, if he's not sure of the answer, nothing's going to be reliable. He's always just going to be bouncing up and down and frantic and trying all kinds of things unless we really spend the time that when we touch him with the leg, he is for sure about what we're asking him to do. You know, because then he just gets frantic and there's no chance of him being successful in the changes if he doesn't know walk canter, walk canter, walk canter with 100% accuracy. And that you can touch him with if your right leg is back, there's no reason he should not be cantering left. Right? Simple as that. And if you swap him and the right leg comes forward and the left leg goes back, there's no reason he shouldn't think about cantering right. Right? But it has to do with these timing things and you actually committing to using your legs to get him to give a trained response. Because otherwise, everything he's trying to do now is just him trying to satisfy you. He's not sure. He's not sure that when your leg goes on, what he's supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Very good. Any questions?
No, good work.
Good,
Thank
yeah.
you.
And we'll see you tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Anybody else questions?